Here on the Neighborhood New Year's special, my oldest friend in the world. Not that he's not like 150 years old. He's my oldest friend in the world because we went to elementary school together and have
We went
stayed
to
in touch.
kindergarten together. You're already forgetting. See, something already happened, so it's already a
Kindergarten is
drift.
elementary school, ain't it? Or not?
No, no, it's
No,
not.
it was in the same building. My
Well,
wife
there
is
you
laughing in the
go.
background.
It was the same neighborhood, the
Yeah.
neighborhood, whatever you call this thing. So yes, there you go. Uh,
There we go. Ozer Teitelbaum busting my chops as he so loves to do all these years, more than 50
I'm
years
sure
later.
all your guests love to do it, so I can't be the only one.
Yeah, no, but we were talking off, just before we started about movies because you appreciate the form of movies, even though I think you feel that a lot of modern movies are crap and not worth seeing, and that Hollywood's in real trouble. I don't know if we want to condense that or talk about that a little bit.
No, I'd like to know what's the last movie you saw?
Last movie that I saw,
Yeah.
I watch, honestly, I watch older movies on DVD, so I'm catching up with, honest to God, Mickey Rooney in The Human Comedy. I saw that. Um, what else? I saw Mrs. Miniver for the first time, a William Wyler film, which is sometimes really great and sometimes a little bit kitschy. But
What
it's not
year's
about.
that?
Hmm?
What year's that?
Miniver was 40s. It was
Uh,
like 42 because it was urging America to defeat Germany in the war. So,
hmm,
but this is
okay.
not my. Ozer, what movies have you seen on like DVD or in the movies this year?
I saw a movie. It was a biopic about you. It was very strange.
Yeah, how was it? How strange was it, Oz?
How strange was it? I was the only one in the theater, and
Yeah.
really, it was supposed to be a comedy, but nobody laughed because I sit there and I was completely stupefied.
Well, yeah. What was
Uh-huh,
the name of the
uh-huh.
movie, Oz? Yeah,
It's the neighborhood.
I like the title. The
Yeah,
title works.
yeah. You might want to seek a little trademark infringement there.
So it wasn't directly, but it was about me, but they used my title. Well, I don't have a
Okay,
can't
we're gonna
trademark a
just drop
title.
that joke. It's
Yeah,
it's not worth going
it's
any
not.
further
No,
on that.
no, certainly
No,
not.
no.
So, what was the
Yes.
best movie you saw? And it doesn't have to be from this year. I mean, it could be a movie that you decided to watch.
I can't go back in time. I do see quite a bit. I did see One Battle After Another, which was heralded as a fantastic movie. I uh, I was not overwhelmed by it, but it was good. Good enough to watch the entirety and not want to turn it off.
Okay.
Um,
Well, turning
uh,
off. Did you watch it in the movie theater or did you watch it at home?
no,
Oh,
no,
you did.
I saw it at home.
Okay.
In fact, the release was so short that it was almost impossible to see it in the movie theater.
So, can
So
I
I
ask
think that's
what was the last movie you saw in the movies?
it would be not this year. This year was exceptionally busy for me.
Sure.
It'd be last year. I have
Yeah.
to think as to which one it would be. Um, you're gonna have me flat-footed there, David,
Oh,
which
sorry. No,
that's
but
okay.
it's more than a year. So we were talking again off mic that it's not even worth seeing the movies that they're putting out there.
No, that's the difference. It's not that's not the standard I'm applying. One, it just has been an exceptionally busy year for me. So I really didn't have the time. And the movies that I would see were so poorly marketed that they came and went, limited run in very small theaters, which there are plenty in
Hmm.
some cities, but not that many. And you wouldn't hear about the release; it would come and it would go. So some of the better movies really had a limited release, and they didn't have an option to really run for weeks, 2 weeks, and they're out. So if you don't hear about the movie until it's after it's already come and gone, what's the point? And that's the
Hmm.
problem with Hollywood right now. The cinema is really just a loser, and they don't really know how to um, fix the model. And the model is getting people above 40 into the theater. And you're not going to have.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's also the problem. Hollywood has never cared enough about the over 40s. If they
Yeah,
concentrate on the 60, 70 plus viewer,
mhm.
maybe
I
no.
think I may differ with you on that. I think that there was a time when independent movies could draw an audience above 40, and it wasn't really an effort. But now that's not even the game plan. The game plan is an independent movie might get it released in 10 theaters nationally. I mean, 10 theaters, what are you going to do? And you're going to generate $2 million and then you're going to punt? I mean, there are a number of movies that were independents that didn't even have a chance to get any buzz or any particular, momentum. So if you're not going to keep it in the theater and you're generating $500,000 total gross receipts in the US, you're just not going to get anything. And that's the patience factor, but it's also the lure factor. While the majority of the income is under 40, over 40s used to go, but COVID broke the model. And now you're also making pretty much relatively boring movies, the bulk of which are just not even appealing to under 30. Their target audience don't really care. So when a horror movie loses money, uh, that's just a telltale sign. Our
Mm.
movies are pretty packaged to at least break even or make a little money. But there are horror movies released this year. I can't remember the names, but they're just big dogs. I mean, Al Pacino was in one, was a big dog. The number of bad, I don't want to talk about the quality, but talk about the business. Number of movies that are just not generating money is too high. And then you have the stream factor, which is, hey, I don't know if this is going to sell anyway, so I'll just make a model that's going to go straight to stream.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes studios will release movies just to say, "Hey, we've had it in theaters," and that makes it easier to market to the streamers, to other countries. It's like sometimes Broadway producers, they know they'll barely break even on
Right.
Broadway or lose money, but they know, you can tour it because you can say this was a Broadway show. This was nominated for 2 Tony Awards or whatever.
I
So,
understand. The
yeah.
problem is it's the percentage of dogs and financially. I don't even mean the quality. The number of dogs are just too high, and the number of giant losses were just enormous this year. We talked about Snow White. That was just a disaster, and you didn't really need to spend much brain power. You don't
Well,
need to
Snow White. I
do.
mean, you're not marketing it. It's you're marketing that to 12-year-old girl. I mean, they have brain power, of course, but it's
No,
not
I'm
meant to
not.
be.
You're
Yeah,
you're you're
yeah,
not marketing it to 12-year-olds. You're marketing it to parents to take their
yeah.
children.
Sure.
So a parent will read the buzz, and the buzz is awful, and the movie got such bad press. Why would you spend 50, $60 taking your daughter, whatever? You won't, so you have to make a film that's going to work. And when the lead actress is already offensive to the general public, you're not going to make any money. And you don't need to spend, $500 million to know that. You just really have to say, well, how much am I going to bleed before I bleed more? Or should I just put a tourniquet on and cut my losses? I mean, you may remember Batgirl was a movie made, I don't know, some years ago.
Was that the
Um,
Halle Berry one?
no, 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 no.
Oh,
She was not Batgirl, I don't think.
or Michelle
But
Pfeiffer? I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, it's Batgirl, not
Right.
Catwoman, Batgirl.
Oh, back. I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
the younger person. Batgirl was made and it was never released. In fact, it was destroyed. They destroyed the film so that it could not be released. And it's not clear if the movie was bad. It's clear that they made a decision it was going to lose money, so they sunk their costs in the production, but they were going to have to do, as you know,
Yeah.
twice as much on marketing. And they said, this is not going to work. Interesting, they chose not to release it on streaming at some point. They just said, let's destroy it so it never will be
Well,
released.
I don't know if
They,
there's no negatives anymore. They destroyed the digital file of it. There's probably some
I,
there. They
I only
just
know what I read, which is the film was destroyed. That's how it was
wow,
characterized. So,
wow.
I mean, I literally don't know more than that. You may be right, but I think that when it says the film was
Right.
destroyed, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
"Ugh."
Huh.
Well,
And
anyway, you slice it, they
yeah.
chose not to put in the catalog, and it wasn't made a year ago or 2 years. So this is like something 5 to 10. I should remember more, but I just don't really. It's not that interesting a
Mhm.
specific fact to
Sure.
remember before we talk. But that's the state of film. You know, independent films, or you can make a film under $10 million, and can you get 20 million back? 10 in, 10 for marketing, and then you break even at 20. And then like
Studios,
your
but studios aren't interested in that per se. But they don't want to spend 10 million to make 20. They want to
no,
spend
no, 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 no.
200 million to make a
You're
bill.
misunderstanding. You're
Oh yeah.
misunderstanding what I'm saying. They don't want to get 20, but if they have a target for a $10 million and they're going to spend 10 million on marketing,
Mhm.
their break even is 20.
Yeah,
So if
so they
they
want to make
spend
40.
10, they have
Yeah.
to have a plan to be able. I mean, you should have some thinking. Am I going to get an audience to present an income stream that's going to at least get 20 million
Yeah.
in actual theaters, forgetting about the streaming rights. So if you can't do that, then independent films are going to die. And I think we're seeing less and less independent films being made, which are usually adult oriented. So doesn't mean that under
Oh,
30
those
won't
kinds of
come.
movies. There'll always be an audience for those kinds of movies.
Yes, but they're not in the theaters, my friend. Those
Well,
are, and so,
so, so I've got to, unfortunately, I have to
yeah,
wrap this up because we've got a
that's
lot of
good.
guests on the show, but this was fun.
Yes,
We actually had a real conversation after all these years. We had
I
a
know. I
legitimate,
know. Like,
interesting.
why would you want to talk to me? I mean, God knows that. So,
This is exactly why I want to talk to you. Ozer,
I
you
know.
sound great. I hope
Great.
you're
You too.
happy and healthy and having a really good year ahead. I want to wish you
Yeah.
a most happy new year.
You
Uh,
too. You too. You and your family have a wonderful 2026. Peaceful, safe, healthy, and great.
Thank you, man.
Also,
Talk to
talk
you
to you
soon.
soon.
Bye bye.